At Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California, the New York Mets play the Los Angeles Dodgers. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by StubHub. Looking for great seats? Head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the New York Mets. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By the Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, go beyond utility. By the Better Network, Verizon, better matters. And by Geico, over 75 years of savings and service. Right next to downtown LA, Dodger Stadium, carved out of a former goat pasture. It has served the Dodgers well since 1962, the same year the Mets came into the league. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Los Angeles. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling with you tonight as the Mets play Game 3 of their 4-game series against the Dodgers. Dodgers won last night on a walk-off home run by Trace Thompson. The Mets won the series opener on Monday night behind Steven Matz, who won his 5th straight start. But Steven is not going to make his next start. He's had a little flare-up in his elbow and will not pitch Saturday in Colorado.
You know, it's got to be a scary thing, not only for the Mets, but Steven Matz. Steven, of course, has gone through many injuries early in his career, and now he is saying it's more of his forearm. Terry Collins said it's more of his elbow. Let's just say it's some kind of arm injury that you don't know if it's going to be an extended rest or if he's just going to miss the one start in Colorado.
Ironically, it was last year after his second Major League start here in Los Angeles that Matz was shut down with what was thought to be a mild lat injury. It cost him 2 months.
Yeah, and I think that's Terry Collins addressed that by saying we're going to make sure that we get him the proper rest so we don't miss him for 2 months again.
And so that start on Saturday will probably be taken either by Logan Verrett, who is here, or Sean Gilmartin, who might be here as early as tomorrow. As for tonight, Noah Syndergaard gets the ball. Pitched well but lost his last start in San Diego.
He did lose, but Syndergaard threw the ball a lot better. His times to the plate were better. He's working again with Rene Rivera behind the plate, who has the better arm of the two catchers.
And the Mets get their first look at the Japanese import Kenta Maeda, who's off to a rip-roaring start in his rookie season.
Well, he has done stuff historically in his first 5 starts that the Dodger fans have not seen since 1981 with Fernando Valenzuela. He's been outstanding so far.
Mets are now 3-3 on their West Coast road trip, trying to get the upper hand tonight in LA. It's the Mets and Dodgers, all the action coming your way on SNY. You save for every run the Mets score against the Dodgers and Rockies. You'll save 1% on select tickets to the upcoming homestand May 17th through the 22nd. As of last night, the Mets have scored 6 runs, meaning fans will receive at least a 6% discount. For more information, visit Mets.com/runs. Time for the greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Great feat tonight by Max Scherzer. He tied the Major League record with 20 strikeouts against his former team, the Tigers. And look at that ball-to-strike ratio.
Almost struck out more than the balls he had in the game, only 23.
Tied the Major League record held by Roger Clemens twice, Kerry Wood, Randy Johnson. Now Max Scherzer has struck out 20 as well. Different microclimate in Santa Monica. We'll be back at downtown L.A. First pitch coming up. Starting lineup as the sun sets behind Dodger Stadium. David Wright gets a day off against the right-hander. Eric Campbell plays third. Rene Rivera and his strong arm behind the plate with Noah Syndergaard. Otherwise, the regular Mets lineup. Good to see Neil Walker back in there after sitting the last 3 games with a bruised shin.
Well, I mentioned in the open that he's done stuff that you haven't seen since 1981 with Fernando Valenzuela. The Toyota numbers are incredible for Kenta Maeda so far. 97 and 67 in Japanese baseball. He won their equivalent of their Cy Young Award, the Samamura Award, 3 times. Best fielder 5 times. Incredible athlete. He already has a home run. He had it in his first start. Defensively for the Dodgers tonight, Carl Crawford gets a start again. Jock Peterson and Yasiel Puig. Coors Light infield of Howie Kendrick gets a start at third base. Turner sits down. Seager, Utley, and Gonzalez. And behind the plate, again, Yasmani Grandal.
Oh. And you see Maeda's name in his Japanese characters.
Well, I wonder if the manager can do that. Dave Roberts, born in Japan.
Maeda, 28 years old, spent 8 years with the Hiroshima Taiyo Carp before coming to this country. And his first pitch to Curtis Granderson is up and away, and we're underway. That's 88, and that's about where he'll average with his fastball. Maeda's not a hard thrower, not a big strikeout guy, although he has struck out nearly a batter per inning at the big league level. He struck out fewer than that in Japan. Granderson 2 for 6 in this series. Started the series Monday night with a home run, and he takes the curveball for a strike. Just 6 feet, 175 pounds, and that's having put on a little weight over the last couple of years. He is slight of build and wily of craft. Granderson pops one sky high behind the plate. Grandal comes back right at the screen. He dropped the ball. Had a play, couldn't hold. And that keeps Granderson's at bat alive.
It's the same catcher in yesterday's game. Went 50 feet down the third baseline to make a catch and couldn't catch this one. Tough one, though, against that screen. And you don't know if it hit the screen either on the way down.
If it hit the screen, it would have been out of play anyway, which would have made the drop a moot point. Granderson, Cabrera, and Conforto for the Mets in the opening inning. 1-2 from Maeda, and he strikes him out with a slider. So Maeda fans his first batter, one away.
So how does he do it, Kenta Maeda? He does it with an assortment of pitches. He will sink his fastball, he'll throw it straight, he'll cut it. He'll throw a hard slider like he does here to Curtis Granderson. He'll throw a slower slider for a strike. He has a big overhand curveball that he changes speeds, a couple of different speeds on. He is, as you said, Gary, very wily and crafty.
Sounds like Yasmani Grandal may need more fingers.
That's right.
One out. Here's Cabrera, 1 for 7 in this series. Average is dipped just below 300. He's at 296 starting the night. And fastball thrown by Cabrera, 0-1. Maeda's contract is an unusual one. The Dodgers put up the $20 million posting fee to get a chance to negotiate with him. They signed him to an 8-year deal. The base salary for the 8 years is only $25 million only, but that's, you know, below market rate. Good changeup, and it's 0-2. But they have loaded his contract with incentives so that over those 8 years he could make as much as $100 million.
We see the lowest ERA this season. It's a contract dream for owners. They would love to have contracts where they're paying a low base salary, and if a person delivers, then they get paid. And that's what Maeda's looking for here.
He's made 6 starts. 5 of the 6 have been terrific. And one rocky one against Miami where he gave up 4 runs. Bounced back in against a powerful Toronto team Friday night. Gave up just 2 hits over 6 innings. Michael Conforto back in his 3rd spot in the batting order, waiting on deck. Mets have gotten through most of this run against lefties. They face a pretty good one tomorrow. Golfed in the air to right. And Puig ambles over. And Cabrera retired, 2 out.
So in today's game, Gary, where we see a lot of power pitchers and the Mets have loads of them, where it's kind of 2 hours in a cloud of dust, guys just come out and grunt and groan and throwing hard and harder. Maeda reminds me of guys that threw in the 50s and the 60s and accumulated a lot of innings. Not a lot of effort put into it. Knows how to spin the ball well. It's fun to watch.
And if you look at his career numbers in Japan, he averaged nearly 7 innings per start for his entire Japanese career. So it gives you the idea he can get deep in games without giving max effort. Here's Michael Conforto with 2 out, and he takes a curveball for a strike. Michael just 3 for his last 33. Sat most of last night, or got dropped down to the batting order last night against the lefty. Went 0 for 4. And he rolls one into the shift. Kendrick playing on the right side, throws him out. That's a 5-3 put out from the right side of the diamond. 1-2-3 go the Mets. Syndergaard to the mound when we come back. superhero music accompanying that little Syndergaard package.
Of course.
Here's the lineup he'll face tonight for the Dodgers. Chase Utley again in the leadoff spot. Howie Kendrick moves into the 3-hole. Night off for Justin Turner. Puig and Crawford in the 7 and 8 spots as they were last night.
Well, Noah Syndergaard now has made 30 starts in the major leagues. As you look at his Land Rover numbers, I am going to laugh every time that comes up. He and Steven Strasburg now in their first 30 starts, the only players to strike out over 200 and walk less than 50. Amazing.
Utley takes a fastball for a strike. Well, Syndergaard is hoping he can be like Strasburg in a different way too.
Yeah, someday.
Maybe he is well compensated as Strasburg now is. Utley 1 for 6 in this series, and there's been no sign of any kind of retribution so far in the first 2 games.
By the way, I think I've walked 100 in my first 30 starts. That's hard to do. I don't know if it's.
Well, Syndergaard's gone 3 starts without a win now. He got outpitched by Drew Pomerantz Friday in San Diego. Pomerantz pitched another gem today against the Cubs. Utley takes a slider at his feet, and it's 1-2. The Padres have a chance to sweep a doubleheader today from the Cubs. The Cubs who came in with only 6 losses all season. 1-0 Padres in the nightcap in the 8th inning, behind 6 strong from Pomerantz. 1-2 to Utley, and he drives one to right center field. Over in the gap though goes Granderson, and he pulls it in. Utley hit that ball hard, turning around a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, but that's the first out.
Defensively behind Noah this evening's game is you have the outfield that has been out there most of the time. Conforto, Cespedes, and Granderson. Some changes in the infield. David Wright gets a day off. Eric Campbell, Cabrera, Walker back in there, and Lucas Duda also. And Rene Rivera, who caught the last start by Syndergaard, behind there again.
Corey Seager 2 for 6 in this series at a pair of doubles last night. '22-year-old from North Carolina, expected to be one of the top rookies in the National League this year. And the fastball away, 2-0.
Well, you mentioned it last night. It might be Seager and Matz and others.
We might see another one of those candidates this weekend in Colorado. Trevor Story, the shortstop for the Rockies. And Seager takes low, 99 from Syndergaard, 3-0. I mean, you hope that whatever is ailing Matz right now is a short-term issue, that it's just one start, and the Mets are just operating with an abundance of caution in scratching him from Saturday's start. But we'll see. And there's a knee-high strike, 3-1.
Well, the way things go in most organizations, including the Mets, is that if you have good, talented young pitchers and they complain a little bit after a start, they are not going to make their next start.
Which works out well in the long run, too. There's a strike, 3-2, because the plan is to put a 6th starter in the rotation at times this year and limit guys to 30 starts. Nobody's going to probably throw more than 30. So if he has to miss a start now and it's just one start, so be it. Strike 3 called. Syndergaard comes back from 3-0 and throws a fastball on the inside corner to get Seager, 2 men down.
That was a curious at bat by Seager. He got the 3-0, and every pitch he faced after that, he went to throw his bat away like he was going to walk, and 3 straight strikes by Syndergaard.
Mark Ripperger, the home plate umpire, and that was clearly a strike. So Syndergaard has his first of the night. 2 out and nobody on. Now Howie Kendrick playing third base tonight, and he just gets a piece of a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's your umpiring crew tonight. Fielding Culbreth, the crew chief, working at first base. The youngster Nick Lentz at third. Jim Reynolds between them. Well, we haven't seen 100 with regularity since that start in Philadelphia. Off Syndergaard's glove. Does he have time to retrieve it? Nope. Kendrick beats it out for an infield hit.
Well, we saw this in last night's game, deflected off DeGrom, where Cabrera made an outstanding play, but Syndergaard catches too much of this ball. So it gets right behind him. He's got to make the play, and couldn't get there in time.
Looked like a routine play for him. know if the ball had a lot of spin coming off the bat.
Looked like he closed his glove before it got in the webbing.
And they're going to charge an error to Syndergaard. You don't often see that on a comebacker, but that was fairly routine. So the error puts Kendrick at first, and see whether he's inclined to run. He already has a stolen base in this series, and we'll see what the Dodger game plan is against Syndergaard, who has had much publicized problems holding base runners. 14 of 16 this year. 2 of 3 in his last start. Did a lot better with Rivera behind the plate.
And his times were much better to the plate in San Diego.
Gonzalez 2 for 6 in this series. Had a couple of hits last night. And he hits one toward the hole, and that gets through for a base hit. Kendrick will go first to third. So the Mets had a modified shift on, and where sometimes you would put that third infielder right where that ball was hit, that spot was vacant. And there's the first hit for the Dodgers.
Maybe the shift is this way because Syndergaard throws 100 miles an hour. Maybe that's why you keep Cabrera up the middle and don't shade to the right side. But Gonzalez finds a hole. Kendrick's still has good speed after his 10+ years in the major leagues.
So the Dodgers have a 2-out scoring chance. Yasmani Grandal hitting 5th in the order. Grandal 1 for 5 in this series. Only Gonzalez no threat to run at first. Duda though holds him on. And Grandal takes the curveball for a strike.
Gary, same kind of shift here for Grandal also. Same as they had for Gonzalez. Walker way out there to pull Cabrera just up the middle. Big hole between Cabrera and Walker.
Right back with a slider. Is that the nastiest pitch in baseball right now?
It is. I think that Jake Arrieta's pitch, his slider's pretty nasty too, but this one's thrown at 92 to 95 miles an hour.
Nobody else does that. Rivera again sets up inside. Gonzalez runs, but Grandal strikes out on the slider, and that ends the inning. So Syndergaard with a couple of punch-outs to work around trouble. No score after 1 in L.A.
Hey, Dodger fans, it's baseball season. And that means it's time for world-famous Farmer John Dodger Dogs. Dodgers.
.39 when DiMaggio hit .381. He only struck out 20 times the entire year, and that's a power hitter.
From the trade that brought him here to becoming one of New York's biggest stars, get an inside look at Noah Syndergaard's rise to the top and the struggles he faced along the way on Mets Insider, presented by W.B. Mason, Sunday at 7:30 only on SNY. And Noah able to work around trouble with that dastardly slider in the first inning.
Noah's so tall that when he sits on the top deck there, you can't even see his face in the dugout.
Yoenis Cespedes leads off in the second against Kenta Maeda. Well, usually it's the little guys who are better able to hide. In this case,
that's right.
Different story. Cespedes 2 for 6 in the series, and he takes off the plate from Maeda, ball 1. Cespedes leading the National League in RBIs with 31, tied for second in home runs with 11. And 10 of those home runs have come in the last 20 games.
Did you see that? That was just like a little nothing slider in the middle of the plate just to get the count even.
Doesn't have the full pause at the top of the delivery like Hideo Nomo did, but so many of the Japanese pitchers bring those hands high over their head and at least semi-pause. Hit the other way, and Cespedes has a base hit. Puig trying to chase it down, and Cespedes is not going to challenge his countryman, who unleashes an on-the-fly throw to second. Well, we're going to be talking Cuban baseball a little bit later tonight, but there's a little bit of a taste. Cespedes with great respect for the arm of Puig.
How about going the other way again for Cespedes, trying to be more patient at the plate, swing at more strikes, go the other way. All of them in play there.
Saw Cespedes last night make a 230-plus throw from the warning track in center field to second base.
232.
232. Here's Duda. Lucas 0 for 3 in this series, trying to get himself restarted. His average down to 234 for the year. And unlike last year when he was hitting for a low average for periods of time, he was drawing a lot of walks. That's not the case this year. Lucas's on base percentage at just 300 right now.
And you know, he's becoming out against left-handed pitching.
Sat last night against the lefty. Came off the bench for a pinch hitting assignment in the ninth. And the curveball from Maeda in for a strike, 1-1. Dodgers have had a great history of signing and nurturing pitchers from Asia. In fact, the top 3 Asian-born pitchers in terms of major league wins all debuted for the Dodgers.
Who's got more, Nomo or Channel Park?
Channel Park number 1,
okay.
One more than Hideo Nomo, and Hiroki Kuroda is 3rd on the list. And they all started their careers with the Dodgers. In tight snap throw by Grandal, and Cespedes, who still is reluctant to slide, goes back in standing. Remember, he had that big bruise on his leg, and he really has not made a legit slide since.
Well, Grandal's got a good arm and loves to throw the ball around the diamonds, trying to catch Cespedes sleeping.
Cespedes got doubled off second base Monday night because of that reluctance to slide. 2-1 to Duda with Neil Walker on deck. And the curveball balloons up and away, and it's 3-1. Beautiful sunset behind the stadium. Meanwhile, out in the distance, the San Gabriel Mountains.
Beautiful tonight. This Duda gets some more stickum. I don't know if it's still made, but originally it was Manny Mota, who was a great pinch hitter for the Dodgers, is the one that came up with that kind of stickum bar that you'd rub on the bat to have a better grip.
A little less messy than pine tar.
Yeah.
Or the spray stickum that Jack Tatum used to use. That's taken low, ball 4. And Duda draws a walk, so the Mets have the first 2 men out against Maeda in the second. So now Neil Walker making his return to the lineup tonight. Neil bruised his shin after he fouled a couple of balls off it on successive days and did not start the last 3 games. Back in there tonight. Wilmer Flores did most of the filling in at second base, and Wilmer's a little banged up right now, available but not 100%.
Well, Walker tried to play through it a little banged up, but he wasn't getting any results.
Well, Neal is 0 for his last 20 after his terrific start. His average down to 259. He's got a chance here to do some damage. First and second, nobody out. And he takes a fastball strike. You got Eric Campbell hitting 7th in the order and Rene Rivera hitting 8th. So this is a key at bat for Walker and the Mets. Campbell playing third base tonight with David Wright sitting. David will be back in there tomorrow against Kershaw. Mets facing 3 lefties in this series. Maeda the only right-handed starter. And Walker pokes one foul. 0-2. Kenta Maeda, 8 years with Hiroshima, a 2.39 ERA, a 1.05 whip for his career in Japan. He's done even better than that in the big leagues so far. 1.66 ERA and an 0.95 whip. Off the fist, a foul ball.
It was interesting. Terry Collins was talking to reporters today about how do you face a pitcher that you've never seen before. You've seen some tape or whatever, and he said, you know, the Japanese pitchers present even more of a problem because they have a real assortment of pitches, and until you get in the box and see how hard they're breaking, see how slow the changeup is, how quick the fastball gets on you, sometimes you have to make the adjustments quickly in a game.
I would assume a lot of conversation going on in that dugout at bat to at bat, trying to compare notes. And that one almost took out Asdrubal Cabrera hanging out at the end of the dugout.
He's always got a smile on his face. It's an interesting character.
Narrow escape.
Stay loose. Or cuidado.
Walker pops one up. Peterson coming on. And that's the first out of the inning. So one away, Eric Campbell coming up. And they're your rookie wins leaders in the National League. Colin Ray got one of those against the Mets last weekend in San Diego. Matz has won his last 5 starts, but he's going to miss his next one.
And the best name in the major leagues, Barraclough.
Kyle Barraclough. We saw him last September.
Yeah.
He wasn't with the Marlins when the Mets faced them earlier this year. Matz has not had an MRI yet, and there is none in the plans at the moment. Right now, he's just going to rest it. He said he felt 100% better today than he did yesterday when he first complained of the problem. Eric Campbell takes a curveball out of the strike zone.
That's I know you might feel that way, but that's hard to make that much of a recovery from I can't pitch in 4 days to I feel 100% better. That's quite a jump.
Campbell starting for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. Cespedes takes off early and steals the base without a throw. He took off when Maeda was still in his stretch, and Maeda did not step off. So Cespedes picks up his first stolen base of the year.
I mean, he just took off, and Maeda was just concentrating on the hitter Campbell. Nice job by Eric Campbell, who took that pitch once he saw that Cespedes had such a big jump and ended up working in his favor.
Did that all in his own. Duda didn't follow, so now 1st and 3rd and 1 out. 2-0 to Campbell, who's 0 for 3 in this series. Rene Rivera hitting 8th in the order is on deck. And Campbell goes after a slider and misses 2-1. Campbell playing third base tonight. David Wright last night had some more throwing issues, and for the first time today, Terry Collins said publicly something we had suspected for a while, which is that David has a sore shoulder. I don't think that comes as a shock, but nobody had ever said that publicly until this afternoon.
You know, David, when asked by reporters, said he was fine, because that's what you say, because you don't want other teams to know that you're playing with a sore arm. We saw Ryan Zimmerman go through that a couple of years when he was with Washington. So I know what the manager's trying to do is to defend his player from some of the inaccurate throws that he's had, but sometimes you put him on top of the funeral pyre when you mention that, because then he has to answer all the questions from the reporters.
Well, certainly now it becomes a public issue, and it'll be debated and all that, and you know, David's just going to have to deal with that in addition to everything else that he has to deal with daily to get ready to play. Campbell takes a fastball just inside 3-2. Years ago, Howard Johnson was having throwing problems.
I was there
playing third base as a Met. And there was a day at Shea Stadium when he finally threw one accurately, and the crowd gave him a sarcastic ovation. And Ralph Kiner had the great line. He said, "There's never been more talk about a lack of an arm since the Venus de Milo."
That's a great line. I didn't know that until tonight when you told me. I knew that line had come. I didn't know it was from Ralph. Now, it makes total sense.
Let's see if Duda's running here. 3-2, 1 out. Not going. And Campbell grounds one slowly, could be two. Seager throwing home, though, and they'll take that out. And boy, that's shocking. It looked like it was going to be a routine 6-4-3 double play, but Seager, the rookie shortstop, instead decided to throw home, and the inning continues.
Well, that's where maybe inexperience somehow worked in his favor. One, Cespedes is not running that well. He thought that absolutely was going to be a turn double play, so Seager came home. I mean, very surprising. This is where, with Campbell running, this is a 6-4-3. But he gets an out at home plate. The issue is Rivera hurts him.
Well, the Mets will take that because it keeps the inning alive. Duda now at second, Campbell at first with 2 out. And here's Rivera, who started last Friday when Syndergaard pitched, went 0 for 2 in San Diego against his old team. And he goes after the curveball and misses, 0-1.
That will be where Seager gets on the bench and someone will be sitting down next to him and say, "What were you thinking?" You know, just a good breaking ball by Maeda. One thing I've noticed here in the first couple of innings, very slow worker.
Well, we lived through a couple of years of Daisuke Matsuzaka. It's fairly typical,
yes,
for Japanese pitchers to work at a slow pace. Another curveball, that's in for a strike, 0-2. Just to get back to that last play. Of course, that's why, as a runner at third, you have to break to the plate.
That's right.
Because you want the shortstop to throw home in that spot so that he doesn't go for the double play.
And if Cespedes was feeling 100%, he probably would have gotten a run down and might have gotten runners to second and third, which would have made it a bad play by Seager.
0-2 to Rivera. And he strikes him out with a slider. So Maeda, after giving up a couple of base runners to start the inning, gets his way through it, his second strikeout. No score in LA.
not only throw a breaking ball for a strike, but when you want to, the precision of being able to throw a ball that looks like a strike on the outside corner and just bends off just 6 to 8 inches. Beautiful pitching by Maeda.
Noah Syndergaard faces Jock Peterson to lead off the bottom of the second. Peterson 1 for 4 in the series, a double last night. Meanwhile, Corey Seager getting a little instruction.
Well, he's getting some high fives, but he's also getting some talking to by Woodward, who's just trying to understand what he was thinking. Now, Seager might say, hey, I didn't know Campbell can run or not run. I thought it wasn't hit hard enough. That's why I came home. Usually, though, that play, if you know Campbell, you would turn 2.
Chris Woodward, the Dodgers' third base and infield coach. He was a terrific guy to have around. Mets had Chris Woodward in 05 and 06.
I remember when I first came here to SNY, we did a report on he had 5 or 6 gloves that he carried around all the time. He was the extra emergency catcher if he needed one.
He had a really, that strike 3 called. Peterson taking a letter high strike that he thought was high. Mark Ripperger disappointed another Dodger. That's the 3rd strikeout for Syndergaard. I was going to say Woodward had a terrific year in 05 for the Mets, and then was hurt a lot in 06. Struggled.
Well, they didn't need him in 06. They had a pretty set lineup, you know. Jose Valentin came through for the team.
Well, here's Yasiel Puig. Puig is 1 for 8 in this series. And as we mentioned earlier, we're going to get into a discussion about Cuban baseball. Steve Gelbs will join us in the next half inning. Grounded toward the hole, and Puig's got a base hit. So attacking the first pitch slider from Syndergaard. Second hit for the Dodgers.
Well, looks like more of a curveball there that stayed in the middle of the plate. Sometimes when you throw a pitch and it hangs like that, you're happy that he just hit a single as he grounds that through the hole.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Carl Crawford 0 for 4 in this series. And Puig's got 3 stolen bases this year. We know he can run. So this might be the first test for Syndergaard against the running game. They had Gonzalez running on an 0-2 pitch in the last inning, but that was probably more because it was 0-2.
I call those college plays where you're trying to maybe get caught in a rundown and see if the Mets made a mistake defensively.
Past Syndergaard. Walker with the dive. The flip from the force play. Beautifully done. Neil Walker back in the lineup tonight and making a terrific play to get the second out.
What I liked that he did is that once he got to it, he didn't think about double play after that. He knew he could take his time, make an accurate throw, and make sure to just get one. This is a veteran second baseman who knows how to play defense.
Well, first of all, as the pitch was thrown, Puig was going back to the bag at first.
But that's great by Syndergaard because he held on to the ball. It's the first time we've seen him do that in a long time.
Which made that play more makeable. Second of all, you got Crawford going down the line. So both Walker and Cabrera know there's no way you're going to turn 2 on that play. Here's Maeda, who hit a home run in his major league debut, his only big league hit so far.
Walker with the dive perfectly, and we're talking about a guy who's got a hurting shin but still able to make that play.
And to Maeda, only the second pitcher in history to not allow a run and hit a home run in his major league debut. And if you're a Met fan who's been around for a little while, you remember the first guy. Jason Jennings with the Rockies, Shea Stadium 2001, threw a complete game shutout and hit a home run in his big league debut. Big cut by Maeda, 99-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-1.
In Mets lore, that has to be the single greatest Little League game I've heard of, right? Shut out and hit a home run.
Well, to do it in your debut,
yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, Rick Wise gets the all-time one, right? Threw a no-hitter and hit 2 home runs. But in your first big league game, it's all downhill from there. He was the guy for the Red Sox in '67. Billy Rohr came within 1 out of a no-hitter in his big league debut against the Yankees. I think Elston Howard broke up the no-hitter with 2 out in the 9th, and then played for the Red Sox later that year. Skimmed to the right side. Easier play for Walker this time, and he throws out Maeda to end the inning. Well, as promised, you have 2 of the brightest stars from the island of Cuba in this series. And when we come back, we'll get into a discussion about the past, the present, and the future of baseball in Cuba. Los Angeles, Mets and Dodgers, no score. Noah Syndergaard will lead off for the Mets against Kenta Maeda. Maeda does that before every inning, that big arm spread, getting himself loose. And Syndergaard hits one in the air to deep right center. Back goes Puig to the warning track. Back at the wall. It's out of here! Noah Syndergaard's second major league home run. Cologne opened the floodgates on Saturday night, and the Mets pitchers have been storming with the bats ever since. Syndergaard's first hit of the season. He gives himself and the Mets a 1-0 lead.
Well, it's a smart at-bat by Syndergaard. He has so many weapons, Maeda, that you might only see one fastball in the at-bat, and he jumped all over it. Thought it was hard to hit home runs here at night, not for Syndergaard. Just a running fastball away, but it's up. And great extension by Syndergaard. If you didn't know he was a pitcher by that swing, you wouldn't think he was a pitcher.
Harvey almost hit a home run the other night after Cologne's performance in San Diego.
I mean, that's a Ruthian swing there by Syndergaard. Bartolo. He'll take credit.
Matt's at an RBI double on Monday. And now Syndergaard, who hit one last year, a memorable one to center field at Citi Field. It's the second of his career. And Granderson takes high 1-2. That pitchers from the Cologne home run on are 5 for 12 with a double and 2 home runs. This is what happened last year when the Mets were struggling for offense and their pitchers at times were their own best friend. Granderson gets one in the air, not as deep to right center. Peterson didn't see it. Now he finds it, and he makes the catch, one away. Well, Steve Gelb's report is brought to you by New York Community Bank, and for a change, we invited Steve in to sit at the adult table. Glad to have you here.
Well, quite a welcome with Syndergaard. Welcome me in fashion right there.
That was good. It didn't quite keep with the theme. If it had been one of the Cuban players, that would have been more in keeping with what we're going to talk about.
True.
But with Puig and Cespedes in this series, we figured it was a great time to talk about Cuban baseball. There are so many Cuban stars in the game right now, and there probably will be more in future years with the relations between the U.S. and Cuba thawing. But you did a bunch of research into what goes on in baseball in Cuba and how guys like Cespedes and Puig grew up in the game, and I'm really interested in hearing what you found out.
Well, Gary, there were a couple of points that really stood out, and I spoke with both Puig, Cespedes, and also have to give some credit to Nelson Sealy, who translates for the Mets, and his mother's from Cuba. He was able to give me some nice context. But the first thing that's worth noting is that for these guys growing up in Cuba, playing baseball, there's a passion about it that goes above everything else. As Cespedes told me, it's in the culture, it's in the blood for these guys. And you really have to look at the fact that for most Cuban players, there is limited to no knowledge of Major League Baseball. So there isn't this thought of, if I get good, this is my way out. This is how I can go make a lot of money, have some fame in the major leagues. Cespedes didn't really know that the major leagues existed. It was about playing for the Cuban national team. And again, you talk about the lack of money even there. Cespedes saying that he made only $10 to $15 a month playing for the Cuban national team. So it's really about, first and foremost, the love of the game.
And do you think that is changing now with more of the avenues between the two countries opening? Do you think that the younger players growing up now have a little more concept of what's available to them?
Well, I think it's yet to be seen, and you would assume that certainly in places like Havana, where they had the big game very relatively recently, those kids are more apt to understand what the major leagues are. But for the most part, most of these kids don't have internet access, don't have access to television, so there's really no way for them to know.
We'll continue to the discussion in the bottom of the inning. Syndergaard's home run giving the Mets the early lead, 1-0. Shots in LA so far this week. And inside the artificial light of Dodger Stadium. Well, we're talking about players from Cuba. 23 of them on major league rosters when the year began, and I think you could say that Cespedes and Puig, along with Jose Abreu, are the elite among the position players from Cuba. Chase Utley leads off the home third against Noah Syndergaard and takes curveball for a strike. So, Steve, we were talking about the experience of younger players in Cuba learning about playing the game and playing with a passion to play for the Cuban national team. So all these guys who have come out of Cuba, as that one's grounded to Walker, an easy play for the first out, how have they gotten out and how have they been identified by major league teams when they haven't had that knowledge growing up of the big leagues?
Gary, it's a really complex process, and certainly there are a lot of ways around it, and there are different stories for different players. I think what's worth understanding is that for a lot of teams, for a lot of agencies, there's a conduit that works in between that is located, maybe in Miami, and goes out and is able to watch players from the Cuban national team when they play in various countries. And once those players are recognized, then it sets off a chain reaction that sometimes can get very dangerous, as well as they try and extricate these players and showcase them to major league teams.
And of course, all of those players who eventually defect to other countries other than the United States, because if they came directly to the U.S., they'd be subject to the draft.
Exactly. And so certainly monetarily it makes sense, and not just from strictly a standpoint of these players want to get paid that level of money, which obviously they do, and there's incentive in that regard. But when you look at how many people help bringing them from one place to the next, you actually need to pay fees to these guys. There are a lot of handshake agreements, so the amount of money necessary.
Seager drives one to deep right, and that is way out of here, halfway up the pavilion. Corey Seager with a mammoth home run, his third of the year, to tie the game at 1.
Remember Seager's last at bat. He got to a 3-0 count, took 3 straight fastballs to strike out. Well, he wasn't waiting around that long this time. So Syndergaard won, Seager won. Again, that hanging curveball that he threw to Puig, that was just a base hit to left. That one a home run by Seager.
Second home run Noah's given up this year. Now facing Howie Kendrick, and he tops one over the mound. Walker on the chart. Nice play for the second out. So, Steve, what about the experience for the Cuban players coming from playing a certain brand of baseball in Cuba and making the adjustment to playing at the big league level?
Well, that is the other point of this whole matter when you're talking about it. It's such a culture shock for a lot of these players to come to America and see what the game is here, because I guess the best comparison to make is that when you're in Cuba, it's almost similar to a European soccer atmosphere. Yoenis Cespedes said to me that when you're in America, you get 20 seconds of walk-up music. When you're playing in Cuba, the music is going from start to finish, nonstop. And Yasiel Puig said that he still has some difficulty sometimes without that excess motivation, that excess adrenaline coursing through his blood because of the atmosphere at the games. He finds it difficult at times to get up constantly in game.
We've heard, I've heard a lot of Latin players being told to tone it down a little bit, which is just counterintuitive to how they like to play the game.
Well, now that you have a couple of dozen big league players from Cuba and some more in the minor leagues, is there almost like an expatriate community now in this country with the Cuban players?
You know, the way Cespedes described it to me is that it's more just Latin players in general. And I think, you know, going back to what you just spoke about the atmosphere in game, that's not just Cuba. You go to the Dominican Republic, some other Latin countries, and it's that same type of mentality, that same type of approach to the game. So there is certainly a Latin American community throughout the game. Puig, on the other hand, did mention that, especially in the offseason, he'll get together with a lot of different Cuban players from around the league.
Syndergaard strikes out Gonzalez. Steve, thanks. I think we learned a lot here tonight.
Appreciate you guys having me up here.
Steve.
1-1 after 3 in L.A. May 20th, Mets face off against the Brewers at 7:10 p.m. All fans in attendance will receive a T-shirt featuring the Mets pitching staff etched into Mount Rushmore, courtesy of Goya. For tickets, visit Mets.com/free-shirt-Fridays. Yoenis Cespedes will lead off for New York in the 4th in a 1-1 game. Cespedes slashed a base hit to right field his first time up. Dodgers will have the same overshift to the left that they had the last time. And Cespedes takes a strike.
Notice Cespedes taking a lot of first pitch strikes, haven't you?
He has consciously tried to be a little more selective this year, draw a few more walks. It's all been part of his game plan this year, and it's paid off so far in spades. Here's a big cut at a fastball 0-2. You know, in talking about Cuban baseball today, I think it's important, especially for our younger viewers who might not realize it, to understand that there was a great wave of Cuban stars in the game pre-Castro, before 1959. In fact, there was even a AAA team in Havana, the Havana Sugar Kings, who were a Cincinnati farm team in 1959. And there was a great wave of players who came up. I mean, you're talking about Tony Perez, Louis Tiant, Zoilo Versailles, who won an MVP, Camilo Pascual, Tony Oliva, one of the best hitters in the game.
Yeah, the great scout Joe Cambria in the day that pushed a lot of those Cuban players to the States. You know, I talked to Al Jackson when he was my pitching coach in AAA, and he used to tell me amazing stories when he was in AAA and would have to visit Havana, and how festive and fun it was there. You know, places with Havana had casinos and great nightlife pre-Castro.
And you know, once Castro took over, because he was such an enormous baseball fan and a pretty good player in his own right, that only served to nurture the game on the island. And I think you see the result of that now. Lined right back to Maeda. And Cespedes retired, 1 out.
But you know, even before Castro, Gary, there were young people that went to college in the States that would bring the game back. There were some American servicemen that were ported there that would play the game. So it has a long history. I'm talking about late 1800s history.
1 out and nobody on now. Lucas Duda, who walked his first time up. And a curveball popped up. Utley retreats. 2 out. So Maeda has retired the first 2 here in the 4th. There's Monty Grandal using his cheat sheet. Going to be standard issue soon for every big league fielder, not just the catchers. Walker flied to center his first time up.
You know, one of the players we didn't mention was Tony Oliva, a player for the great hitter for the Twins. And in fact, when he came to the States, he used a family member's passport that had his age at 3 years older than he was. So the Twins thought he was a real good prospect. When they found out he was 3 years younger, he went into great prospect mode.
Think how many players have come to this country from other countries and pretended to be younger,
That's right,
not older.
It's a little ironic, though, isn't it, that the game under Castro was used as a sense of pride to bring around the world, to show how great nationalism in Cuba was, communism, how they could present a great baseball team. And when they would go on the road later on, it's where they would defect.
Peterson retires Walker. Walker now 0 for his last 22. That ties the longest 0 for in his career. 1-1 game in the 4th. Mike Piazza, one of 6 players with 20 home run seasons for both the Mets and the Dodgers, who were the other 5. As Monty Grandal hits one to deep right center. Back goes Cespedes looking up, and it's out of here. Grandal gives the Dodgers the lead. His 2nd home run of the year, the Dodgers' 2nd home run of the night against Syndergaard. And it's 2-1 LA.
Well, Gary, it's been heating up here this week. It might reach 80 degrees tomorrow. When it gets a little warmer in the day, the ball can travel a little better at night, especially early in the night. And we've seen it here so far. Grandal, who just missed a home run hitting right-handed last night, catches all of this one and drops it over the fence in right center.
So Syndergaard, who had only given up 1 home run total in his first 6 starts, has given up 2 in the course of 4 batters. Now Jock Peterson, who struck out looking his first time up. So Syndergaard got the Mets on the board first with a home run of his own, but now he's yielded a pair. The Dodgers came into the night 2nd to last in the National League in home runs. They had hit just 25 in their first 33 games. The Mets started the night 1st in the league. Syndergaard's home run was their 50th in their 33rd game. It's the fastest the Mets have ever gotten to 50 home runs in a season. Previous record was 38 games in 1994 and 2006. This year 5 games earlier. And now Syndergaard, after giving up the home run, falls behind Peterson 3-0.
Gave up a home run to Grandal on a fastball. He's come after Peterson with a changeup, curveball, changeup.
Now Puig waiting on deck. Last time Syndergaard stood on the Dodger Stadium mound, nobody touched him. That was that Game 5 relief appearance behind Jacob deGrom.
Pitched the 7th, right?
Yeah, it was something he was not accustomed to, but he certainly looked very comfortable doing. Working a hitless 7th. Fouled off the leg of Peterson, 3-2. That came on the heels of his Game 2 start. Remember, he started the game here at Dodger Stadium, had a 2-1 lead into the 7th. He gave up a walk and then the hit to Chase Utley that preceded the conflagration at second base.
Yeah, Utley's was a pinch hit. That chased Syndergaard. Bartolo Colon came in and gave up the sawed-off ground ball on one hop to Murph, and then, like you said, everything happened from there.
3-2, and that's low ball 4, so Peterson's on with the walk. First of the night for Syndergaard. Well, it was certainly a unique experience for Noah, who's been a starter his entire career, to come out of the bullpen last October in that momentous Game 5.
That was something else. I wouldn't really, it was very challenging and difficult. But went out there and met Travis at home, or not home plate, but on the pitcher's mound. And we just reinforced that idea of, it's just him and I out there playing catch. And, it's a very high-stakes game, or very intense atmosphere, but at the same time, it's still the same baseball game you've been playing since you could pick up a baseball.
And if you're a starting pitcher who's able to maintain 98, 99 mile an hour velocity for 6 innings, it's got to be just incredibly liberating to go out there and know you only have to throw 1 inning's worth of gas.
And with the adrenaline pumping.
Puig pops one foul. That'll come out of play.
I remember I asked Terry Collins before that game, I said, if you needed relievers to pitch in the 7th, I know you can use Familia for 6 outs. Are you going to do a bullpen by committee? He said, I'm going to go to a guy who has swing and miss stuff. I said, Syndergaard? He said, I'm going to go to a man who has swing and miss stuff. And that was it. And I walked out of the room. He was going to tip his hand.
I guess he had already told you. Well, that game will live forever in Mets lore for what DeGrom was able to accomplish in terms of picking himself off the mat, for what Syndergaard did in an unfamiliar spot, for what Familia did in finishing up the game, and for what Murph did in taking care of the offense single-handedly. Slider just off the plate. Puig 1-2.
Well, to me, to win that series and have to face Greinke and Kershaw twice in that series is pretty amazing. Gotcha.
That's a good Kershaw tomorrow night. He'll be matched up against Bartolo Colon in the final game of the series. Puig fouls it back. As that pitch was thrown, Peterson took a couple of running strides towards second. Looked like he had a great jump, and then he stopped.
It's interesting to watch some of the teams who have been very sure about taking off in Syndergaard, and the Dodgers seem less sure about what to do.
I mean, if Peterson keeps going, steals that base easily. 1-2 to Puig with Carl Crawford on deck.
It's funny that he threw over. I mean, that is what most teams will do. They'll make sure the pitcher throws over after the guy has a big jump and shuts it down. I used to always throw to the plate, never throw to first, because if a guy has a big jump, what's he thinking? Well, he's got to come over at least once. Always go to the plate.
Slowly hit. Cabrera to Walker and on to first. Just in time, they turn the double play. 6-4-3, and they double up Puig, 2 out.
Well, I want to say that this is not an easy play with Puig running, but the way we've seen Cabrera and Walker work, they make it look very easy.
Well, I think it's fairly simple to say, but accurate, that the Mets are turning double plays this year that you can take for granted that maybe in past years you couldn't. Crawford takes one the other way for a 2-out hit, and that'll, if nothing else, clear the pitcher spot. 5th hit off Syndergaard.
What I love about it is that you get the ground ball, you take it out of your glove so the second baseman can see it coming out of your hand. It's not hidden by the leather. And then Walker just stands in there. And the way the rules are now, you can really just stand in there and throw it. You're not going to be upended as much anymore because of the rules.
Well, I thought I knew the rule until last night in that Detroit-Washington game when Anthony Goes clearly slid wide of the bag, too wide to touch the bag against the Nats in a 1st and 3rd situation where if they call the double play, it takes a run off the board. Well, apparently the explanation was that because Goes did not directly interfere with the fielder, that there's no interference. But that's not in the rule. So they put a new layer on that slide rule, which I think everybody needs to be brought up to date on. And I understand it's a work in progress and they're trying to figure it all out. And but that was something I had not heard before.
It's the problem with language, isn't it? Once you start to write it, there's a lot of ways around it.
Well, I think also they're trying to take a common sense approach, which I like, but it's hard to write a rule, go by the letter of the rule, and still use common sense.
Because now games have been played by the letter of the rule early, and then they're played by common sense now, and that's different rules already.
Terry Collins was talking tonight about umpires telling him that they've been told now if there's no chance for a double play, the interference rule doesn't apply. But again, that's not in the rule either. And it was called that way earlier this year, even with no double play in order. Tapper foul, 1-2 to Maeda. So they're still trying to figure out exactly what it should be. And you know, you and I have talked about this a lot early in the season. Really, they could have written the rule a lot more simply.
Yeah, I think what happens is because this game is so great and it's been around for so long, is that when you're trying to, make it safer, I guess, for the players, and you're trying to do everything in good conscience to make the game better, it doesn't always work with the language that you use.
5 strikeouts for Syndergaard, but the Dodgers lead 2-1 after 4. In his 67th and final season as the voice of the Dodgers, Vin Scully holding court in the Dodger TV booth. I had the great fortune to sit down with him before the game tonight and talk about his future. I wonder, when we get to next April and the Dodgers play their first home game, where will you be? What will you be thinking?
Oh, I'm sure I will be mentally here. I won't be here. But, I'm looking forward to somewhat of an awkward year, I guess. I'm somewhat frightened. I mean, I started working, really. I was 11 years old selling newspapers, the Bronx Home News, a long time ago, but I sold it. And I've never stopped working. And now, all of a sudden, come October, whatever it is, I'll turn the key and the engine goes quiet. And ask me, are you a little worried and frightened about it? You're darn right, yeah, because I'll miss it terribly. You can't walk away from something that you've done all your life, but I really feel it's time. I don't want somebody to say, you know, you're like that old outfielder. You don't quite get the jump anymore. You've lost a step or two. Your bat isn't quite quick enough. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to say to myself, that's enough. You don't want to go any longer and maybe unwind everything you've done over the years. So it's time for me to hang it up.
That was stunning, wasn't it? Only Vin Scully could use that phrase. I'll turn the key and the engine will go quiet. Wow. But it was a lot of fun to talk with Vin. We ran the interview on the pregame show tonight. I'm sure we'll run it again. We talked for about 15 minutes about the past and the future. And, you know, Vin is a very humble guy, and sometimes it's hard to get him to open up about, you know, his emotions. But you really heard there that at this phase of his life, in this final season, and he's gotten tributes and accolades his entire life, but now they're coming fast and furious. I think he's receiving it on a different emotional level.
Vinny, you are not the old outfielder who's lost a step, by the way.
Yeah, I assured him of that. He's set the template that none of us can possibly match. Campbell hit by a pitch to open up the fifth inning. Rene Rivera at the plate takes a slider outside, and it's 1-1. Noah Syndergaard and his home run bat standing on deck. Kenta Maeda had retired 6 in a row after giving up the Syndergaard home run before plunking Campbell. Campbell's running, and it slips on by Grandal, and Campbell has a stolen base. So that gets the tying run into scoring position on Campbell's first stolen base of the year.
Well, a breaking ball, and Grandal tries to come out a little early to make the throw to second base, and comes without the baseball.
So Campbell, who stole 5 bases last year, as his first of this season. 2-1 the count to Rivera, who struck out his first time up on all breaking balls from Maeda. And he swings and misses at that breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
Well, Rivera known for his defense, and Grandal, as you see Syndergaard on deck, Grandal, who's hit the home run early in the game, is a fine defensive catcher. And sometimes for catchers, this is a lot of fun to catch a guy like Maeda. There's 4 or 5 options every time he's going to throw a pitch. You can sit on the corner because you know he's going to dissect that corner.
Full count to Rivera. It's an interesting pitch to throw there in a spot where Rivera's trying to hit the ball to the right side.
Well, I think he was going for the punch out, because remember, he struck him out in the last at bat with the slider, started on a corner and went off. He was going for the same strikeout, didn't get it. Now he's got to come into Rivera a little. And now what's Grandal going to call? Shakes off.
3-2 coming, and he taps one foul.
Now he set him up here. Let's see if Maeda does this. He set him up with 2 consecutive sliders away. He has set him up for that fastball in. Let's see if Grandal calls it. It's hard to tell because runner on second, there's a multitude of signs. But the fastball in would be the choice to make if you wanted to go for the punch out.
Usually it takes you, I don't know, about 10 seconds to dissect those signs.
They're more simple than you think.
Seventh pitch of the at bat coming from Maeda to Rivera. And Rene fouls it away. So he went right back to the slider.
For folks at home, usually the reason I say they're so simple is because you got to make sure that the catcher and pitcher are on the same wavelength. So it's a least common denominator kind of deal where you want to make sure everyone knows. Most pitchers will use first sign. Some will use sign after 2. But if you shake it off, then it goes to first sign. So you can change all the time. So you don't let the runner on second know.
Doesn't sound so easy to me. And the curveball, a little high, ball 4, and Rivera's on. So a good turn at bat there for Rene Rivera. And the Mets have 2 aboard for Syndergaard, who hit a bomb his first time up.
So it lends itself, what kind of choice will you make here with Syndergaard with 2 on, nobody out? Some speed at second, no speed at first base. Do you let Syndergaard swing away?
Tell you what, if they charge hard, I gotta let them swing.
I think with the Mets pitchers, and they're so talented on the pitcher's mound and at the plate, I'd give them a strike every single time. If you get your first pitch fastball, go to hitting.
Well, let's see how the Dodgers play it and how hard they crash. Kendrick, an inexperienced third baseman. Gonzalez, a Gold Glove first baseman, and Syndergaard shows bunt. And Maeda steps off. Syndergaard's home run was his first hit of the year, his second big league home run in 52 career at bats. There's some position players who will take that ratio. I mean, you project that over 500 at bats, it's a 20 home run season.
Right. It's tough with the signs.
What would you do? Would you have him bunt?
I would have him bunt because of the score. I want to get this game back the Mets' way, at least tie it up. They're not charging that hard, and when you have runners at first and second, Kendrick's got to stay there. They're giving you the bunt to third base.
Remember, Maeda has a reputation as a terrific fielder. Won, what was it, the equivalent of 5 Gold Gloves in Japan?
Yes, he did. Their last Japanese pitcher, Hiroki Kuroda, was another guy that could field his position so well. 18 has always been a number that's considered in Japan the number you give to the ace of the staff.
Well, sometimes those Japanese numbers translate and sometimes they don't. And Syndergaard pulls the bat back ready for the Butcher Boy and takes the curveball outside. The Mets have had more Japanese pitchers debut with them than any other team. They once had a guy named Satoru Komiyama who was advertised as the Greg Maddux of Japan. Didn't work out quite that way.
Maybe there was a Greg Maddux in Japan who just wasn't a pitcher.
2-1 to Syndergaard. And he takes a strike. And now it's 2-2. So now what do you do? Noah has 2 sacrifices this year. Granderson on deck. Mets have had just 2 hits tonight. Cespedes singled in the second. Syndergaard homered in the third. That's been it.
Gonzalez already walking in and now backing back.
2-2. And he swings and flies one to deep center field. Back goes Peterson near the wall. It's out of here! Noah Syndergaard with his second home run of the night. A 3-run shot. Hello, Walt Terrell. Syndergaard with a 2-home run game. He matches the Crazy Crab, and the Mets lead it 4-2.
Gary, does that make his home run numbers better per at bat?
It means he should never bunt again.
Exactly.
Walt Terrell, Wrigley Field, August 6, 1983. The only other Met pitcher to hit 2 home runs in a game. He's now been matched by Noah Syndergaard. What'd you say about a Little League game?
Whoa.
I mean, he's got some legit power. These 3 big league home runs have all been big time big league home runs.
I believe that was on a backdoor breaking ball too. So he made the adjustment and went to left center. There's a tinge. That was a breaking ball on the outside part. There's a tinge, they won't admit it, of jealousy from the hitters on the bench. It's not that easy, young guy. Peterson was playing shallow, tried to get back there, but it didn't matter. Although he came close to it then, we thought, as his hat goes over the wall too.
How'd he get it back? Granderson pulls one into the shift. Kendrick sliding. Does he have time? Close play, but he gets Granderson. That's a 5-3 putout from the right side for the first out of the inning.
Behind Kendrick, you can see how far he had to go for that. You know, when you're playing that deep, sometimes it's awkward hops that you get, but he made a nice play.
So when you have a guy like Granderson who can get down the line, you run out of time because it takes the ball so long to get to you. Here's Cabrera, who's 0 for 2, fly down and struck out. Well, Syndergaard has given up 2 and hit 2, but his 2 have counted for 4.
We came into this game talking about Maeda's home run that he hit in his first start, and he's been victimized by Syndergaard's 2 home runs.
Well, going back to Saturday night, Met pitchers are now 6 for their last 13 with 3 homers and 2 doubles. I mean, think about that. Right? Colon hit a home run. Harvey had a double. Matz had a double. And now Syndergaard's hit 2 home runs. DeGrom must feel like he was left behind. He went 0 for 2 last night. That's drilled down the line, but foul. Well, Colon gets another chance tomorrow night to swing the bat. Be ready, Kershaw. Your city probables for the final game of the series tomorrow. Neither one requires much introduction. Colon has walked 4 batters this year. Kershaw has walked 3 and struck out 64. Not a misprint.
No.
Fly ball right center, playable. Peterson over to get it for the second out. Well, we talked about it last night, how Joe Torre dropped the Sandy Koufax comparison on Clayton Kershaw back in his rookie season. Well, it's unfair to Clayton, but not by that much.
Yeah.
I mean, the complete game's obviously completely different because the game has changed so much since the 60s. And right there, you're only talking about Koufax's great period of dominance, not his entire career.
That's right.
The last 5 years of his career when he was clearly the best pitcher in the game, which is what Kershaw has been these last 5 years. Conforto takes a curveball for a strike. But, you know, looking at those walk strikeout numbers for Kershaw, I'm drawn back to what Max Scherzer did tonight. 20 strikeouts, no walks. It was the 5th 20 strikeout game in Major League history, and you were pointing out how frequently in those games there have been no walks.
Well, you know, when you have a game like that, and listen, I don't know, I never came close to that. I might have struck out 12 or 13 in a game, but you just have the control of the ball like it's a yo-yo. You know exactly where it's going to go at all times.
Well, Roger Clemens had the first 20 strikeout game. He did it twice, and Kerry Wood and Randy Johnson. But of the 5 times, 4 of them, there were no walks.
Yeah. It's going to happen. I'm not saying 20 strikeouts, but we saw Wei Yin Chen strike out a lot of hitters tonight. There's more and more strikeouts for guys that are power pitchers, and if you're not a power pitcher, it can happen for you too.
Little flare. Seager trying to get there, and it lands. It's a fair ball and a base hit for Conforto. That's the strangest looking hit you're ever going to see. With the shift on, Seager playing over in the shortstop spot, nobody else home, and it landed just beyond the bag and just in fair territory.
I think there should be a new rule, the Conforto rule, against any kind of shifts if this is a base hit.
I mean, if it's before the bag and it bounces fair, well, then it goes foul and it's out of play. But it landed just past the bag, and so Conforto gets a hit. And, you know, when you're 3 for your last 35, you'll take those. So the Mets have just their 4th hit against Maeda. The 2 home runs by Syndergaard and singles by Cespedes and Conforto. Now Cespedes takes his home run hack at a slider and misses nothing in 1.
Now, there's no way probably that Maeda could have got to that ball. But as a pitcher in a shift like that, you've got to know that any pop-up on that side, you've got to kind of go for it. We saw Grandal make a great play in last night's game. But when that diamond is completely empty, you've got to race over there.
Cespedes 1 for 2, hit a liner back to the pitcher his last time up. And he takes a fastball strike, 0-2. It's 30 pitches in the inning now for Maeda, who had thrown just 52 in the first 4 innings combined. And that'll get the bullpen going. Chris Hatcher gets up in the Dodger pen.
Maeda has looked very ordinary tonight. I know it's Syndergaard, it's got him twice, but I'm even talking about, you know, his control, his working and laboring, frustration at snatching at the baseball. Never judge pitchers on their best streaks. Judge them when they're going through a little tough streak or a tough game.
Oh, and also here's a guy who spent 8 years in Japan, now working on a 5-man rotation for the first time rather than pitching once a week. And so I think you wait a little further into the season to judge exactly what the Dodgers have here in Maeda. Wait till teams see him the second time around. Cespedes pops one foul. Grandal back for a look, but that'll be in the crowd. Well, we have seen some major history this week, haven't we? With pitchers and the long ball. Colon, the oldest ever to hit his first home run by a long shot. Syndergaard, only the 2nd Met ever to hit 2 in a game, and he might get a chance for a 3rd.
I think Waltero threw a shutout that day at Wrigley Field. I think the score was 4-0. Well, I'm wrong. 4-1 win that day.
You can claim partial credit. You were traded with him. Looped foul.
I was sad to see Walt traded. I know he was traded for Howard Johnson, who played a big role in Mets' future teams, but boy, he was a workhorse.
Well, both those trades were crucial to the Mets winning a championship, trading Lee Mazzilli to get you and Walt, and then trading Walt to get Howard Johnson. By the way, that's now multiple Howard Johnson mentions in one broadcast. That's always a good thing. Told you what, 30 years as a Met?
Yeah, every odd year, right?
It was 89, 91,
93, or 87, 89, 91,
yeah,
something like that.
That sounds right. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming to Cespedes, and Grandal stands up and catches it high, 1-2. Grandal was in the Yogi Berra squad that time.
Bill Dickey.
.34 pitches in the inning and counting for Maeda. All started when he hit Eric Campbell with a pitch. Cespedes bounces it toward the hole, cut off by Kendrick, and he gets the force play to end the inning. But Noah Syndergaard makes some history with his bat after failing to get a bunt down. No matter, a 3-run homer, his 2nd home run of the night, and the Mets have a 4-2 lead halfway through in LA.
Presented by New Era. Here with Roland.
Noah Syndergaard has given himself a 4-2 lead as we start the bottom of the 5th. Meanwhile, Kenta Maeda getting a little counsel from his manager, Dave Roberts, with the interpreter between them.
Looks like you might be giving him some bad news.
The Dodger bullpen is quiet at the moment as Utley grounds one to Walker. Walker does a nice job of going down to one knee on those routine plays just to make sure. One out and nobody on. Let's answer our Verizon trivia question. 6 players have hit 20 or more home runs for the Mets and Dodgers. Mike Piazza's one. Who are the other 5? There's your list. Todd Hundley, who still shares the Mets single season home run record. He hit 41. Carlos Beltran tied him, and nobody's ever hit more in a season as a Met. That could change this year.
Yes, it could.
With the start Cespedes is off to. Syndergaard facing Corey Seager, who homered in the 3rd inning. That tied up the game. Yasmani Grandal's home run in the 4th gave the Dodgers the lead before Syndergaard took things back into his own hands.
Well, you see this season, you can see his average fastball, but the last 2 starts have been solid, but not Syndergaard-like, to tell you the truth. And he's throwing hard here in this game, but the Dodgers have done a good job of putting that fastball in play, hitting it hard.
Grounded to the left side. Cabrera on the backhand. Throws out Seager 2 away. By the way, if you're wondering if a pitcher's ever hit 3 home runs in a game, it's happened once since the modern era began in 1900. In 1942, a knuckleballer named Jim Tobin pitched a complete game for the Boston Braves and hit 3 home runs, including a game winner in the 8th inning. It's the only time it's happened since 1900. It happened once before 1900 by Guy Hecker, but they were all inside the park home runs in a very different era in baseball. So that's the history Syndergaard will be confronting if he gets another turn at bat. Howie Kendrick is 0 for 2, and he shoots one down to first. Nice glove stop by Duda. Side retired. A reach and hope play for Duda, and he makes it perfectly. 3 ground ball outs for Syndergaard. Slashing ground ball by Kendrick, and Duda had it clean. After 5, 4-2 New York. just biding their time till Syndergaard bats again. Lucas Duda leads off in the 6th against Kenta Maeda, who had a difficult 5th through 35 pitches, including Syndergaard's 2nd home run of the night. Duda takes a curveball for a strike. Lucas has walked and popped up 0 for 1. How about this one? The last time the Dodgers allowed 2 home runs to a pitcher in the same game, Lou Burdette, 1958 for the Milwaukee Braves. Wow. So it had been a while.
Yes, it had.
Pulled down to first, off the glove of Gonzalez, and Duda has a base hit. Not sure if Kendrick would have been able to get to it behind Gonzalez, but once Adrian deflected it, it became a moot point.
Well, he's playing on the line. There's nothing you can do. The ball was hit pretty hard, so you've got to try to make an attempt. I don't think he was going to get there.
So Duda has his first hit in the series, and the Mets get the leadoff man on in the 6th. And that'll get the Dodger bullpen back to work. Chris Hatcher's going to start throwing again as Neil Walker steps in. Neil has flied to center in both at bats. Now 0 for his last 22, matching his longest career 0 for. He had an 0 for 22 stretch in 2011.
Well, I'm not trying to say that I know how Kenta Maeda's feeling. But in 1990, I gave up 2 home runs to Derek Lilliquist in a game and lost to the Braves in Atlanta 5-2. So it's a little embarrassing, to tell you the truth. Even when the pitcher is a great hitting pitcher, Lilliquist was.
Were you on the short end of Steve Avery's 4-hit game too?
I was.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like I say all the time, the closer we look at my career, the less great it was.
You know what we found out tonight in reference to something else, because of Trace Thompson's walk-off home run last night, is that you only gave up 1 walk-off hit in your entire career.
That's right.
And it was a home run here at Dodger Stadium.
In the 14th inning, I was pitching in relief, and Jose Gonzalez, who was a tremendous athlete like Trace Thompson, got a hold of one. It was halfway up the bleachers in left center to end that ball game.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm over it now.
Walker pops it up. It's a good thing, otherwise you'd have to write another book.
Exactly.
1-2 to Walker. Here's your drive around the majors. Well, the Cubs had only lost 6 times this year. They lose back-to-back games for the first time, and they do it in the same day. It was Drew Pomerantz in the nightcap following up his fine effort against the Mets. He struck out 10 in 6 innings for the victory. Nolan Arenado hit the high-breaking home run in the bottom of the 8th for the Rockies as they beat the Diamondbacks 8-7 after they blew a 7-1 lead. And Mark Trumbo, 2 more home runs for the slugging Orioles as they beat up on Minnesota. Not pictured there, Jackie Bradley's second 2 home run, 6 RBI day in the last 3 days as the Red Sox put up another 13. That's drilled to right center field. Back toward the gap goes Puig, and it's up against the wall. On his way to third is Duda. He'll pull in there. Walker snaps that 0 for 22 with a well-struck double, and the Mets have second and third and nobody out.
Well, it stays at 0 for 22 as his career high. Gets all of this fastball and hits it over the head of Puig, who plays it 1 hop off the fence and fires it back in to keep Duda from scoring.
Here's that's going to be all for Kenta Maeda. Hit hard in the 5th and again here in the 6th. And Maeda will exit after 5 innings plus and 94 pitches. Chris Hatcher coming on. Called to the bullpen, brought to you by Verizon. His second appearance of the series for the Dodgers.
Well, brought in to face a right-hander who are hitting .355 off him, and more important, 16 games he has 6 decisions as a reliever.
Comes in to face Eric Campbell. The infield to play halfway with second and third and nobody out. Mets already up 4-2. Campbell got hit by a pitch to start the Mets' 3-run fifth, and he has to turn out of the way of Hatcher's first offering.
Oh boy, David Wright giving him advice.
Well, Wright was the guy who faced Hatcher the other night. Hatcher got David to fly out.
I like that.
A little fastball, cut it. It's got a slider.
Straight over the top. You own this guy.
2-0 to Campbell. Rene Rivera on deck. That's with a chance to add a cushion here in the 6th inning. See if somebody else other than Syndergaard can drive in a run. By the way, the last pitcher to hit 2 home runs in a game was Micah Owings for the Diamondbacks in 2007. So it had been 9 years since the last time a pitcher hit 2 in a game. And Syndergaard shortly might get a chance for a third. Duda at third, Walker at second, and Campbell lays off. It's a knee-high strike. 2-1. So Maeda, for the first time in his major league career, fails to go 6 innings. 5 innings plus for Maeda, 6 hits, the 4 runs so far. Chance for 2 more. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a hit batsman, and 2 home runs. Campbell looking for his first hit in the series. And he takes it high, 3-1. Chris Hatcher, a UNC Wilmington Seahawk. A catcher in his previous life when he was Hatcher the catcher. Rhyme better than Hatcher the pitcher. Popped up. Gonzalez waiting for it. Put it in foul territory. That's the first out of the inning. Now, if you're the Dodgers, do you walk Rivera to pitch to Syndergaard?
No, you don't. No, you absolutely not. Campbell like to have that bat back. That ball was ball 4.
Well, Syndergaard with a chance to make even more history as he stands in the on-deck circle. But first it's Rivera with second and third and 1 out. Rene drew a walk and scored in front of Syndergaard's second home run in the 5th.
If Rivera makes it out, do you intentionally walk Syndergaard?
You get to Granderson? Yeah, probably not. And Hatcher wants to talk it over with Grandal. So you were there in 1983 when Terrell hit the 2 home runs?
No, I came up later. I came up later that year.
So you can't testify as to which way the wind was blowing that day.
Out to left, both home runs dropped in the basket in left center field.
So you're saying that Syndergaard's 2 might have been a little more well struck.
Big time. But Wall was a great athlete, amazing athlete, great basketball player in Kentucky as a kid.
Rivera takes a slider off the plate for ball 1. One to Rivera. Well, here's the advantage that Terrell has in his 2 home run games. He hit his 2 off a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Off Ferguson Jenkins. Now, Kenta Maeda might end up being a Hall of Famer, but he's not there yet.
Walt did take on an '83 version of Ferguson Jenkins.
You're saying that wasn't the heyday of Fergie's career.
Yeah, it wasn't prime time.
Well, we can weigh them all we want, but the fact is they're the only 2 Mets in 55 years ever to do it. And now Syndergaard trying to run down Jim Tobin. Hatcher's 1-1 and Rivera lays off. 2-1.
Maeda and Hatcher pitching from behind.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is all relief pitchers tend to work at a slow pace. This Dodger relief corps, they're on a snail's pace. Two 2-1 coming, and that's in the dirt. Knocked down by Grandal, but now it's 3-1 to Rivera.
Not even close, just bounces it in front of the plate on a 2-1 pitch.
So you got a base open, you got a pitcher on deck, you got a 3-1 count. Now normally you'd say throw him a breaking ball here. Is it different with Syndergaard than the night he's having?
I think a little bit of it is, but also Hatcher just bounced that breaking pitch 2-1. He's got to come after him.
And he misses. It goes to the backstop, but Duda will not move as it comes back to Grandal. Good base running by Duda. He would have been a dead duck. So it's ball 4 to Rivera, and the Mets have the bases loaded for Syndergaard, who's already driven 4 tonight with 2 home runs, and now he's got a chance for 4 with 1 swing.
Well, here are the 2 home runs. Fastball up and away, destroyed to right center field. And then after not getting the bunt down 2 successive times, a little backdoor slider, and that one the opposite way.
The 4 RBIs for Noah tonight ties the Mets club record for pitchers. Steven Matz did that last year. It's been done 8 times. So what's he got for an encore? He rips one foul. He was ready. A little too ready. Wow. Well, we mentioned 1942. Jim Tobin hit 3 home runs in a game. Knuckleballer for the Boston Braves. And there's the headline from the next day in the New York Times.
Wow. Great sale on Cadillacs, too.
Did you happen to notice the prices? Syndergaard pulls another one foul. He's going to hurt somebody. He is getting some vicious hacks up there. By the way, just for reference, Met pitchers have hit 2 grand slams, and they were both a long time ago. Carlton Willie in 1963, Jack Hamilton 1966.
Look at the players are even giggling. Can't keep a straight face.
This has been a show of force for Syndergaard tonight. Normally it's with the strikeout pitch. Tonight it's with the home run punch. Hatcher ahead of him now 0-2. And Noah has another good hack and fouls it back.
I mean, he is turning around 96 miles an hour.
I mean, you don't see regular players get consistent swings like this. Digging in with no fear. Duda at third, Walker at second, Rivera at first, 1 out. And Noah takes slow and away. Hatcher tried to fool him, and Noah was having no part of it. Curtis Granderson on deck.
I mean, this is what every team in the National League tries to do, right? Try to maximize that 9th place in the order. Mets have a chance to make it a big part of their lineup.
Well, early in the season, the Mets pitchers were not doing as much hitting as you would have expected. But once Colon hit that home run Saturday night in San Diego, the floodgates have opened.
That should not be allowed. Second pitcher-catcher meeting with the pitcher up.
It's unusual. Syndergaard with a chance to blow this game open for the Mets in the 6th. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Noah takes a big hack and goes down swinging. So Hatcher wins that battle, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
Went back to the fastball upstairs, got it just a little higher and by Syndergaard.
So the slugger has been retired. Now 2 out of the inning, and Curtis Granderson will come to bat. Curtis 0 for 3 tonight, 2 for 9 in the series. He hit the first pitch of this series for a home run. He bats here with the bases loaded. And Hatcher gets a fastball over. Duda at third, he singled. Walker at second, he doubled. Rivera at first, he walked. Six career grand slams for Curtis. He takes a big rip. And now Hatcher with a chance to get through this inning, ahead 0-2. Mets have hit 2 grand slams this year. Granderson has one of the 2. And Curtis takes inside. 97 from Hatcher, 1-2.
In a strange way, the Mets have the lead, but this will be a momentum shifter if they're not able to punch in a run or 2 after having second and third, no out.
That's where Hatcher came in. He got Campbell to pop up. He walked Rivera, struck out Syndergaard, and now a chance to get through the inning. One-two to Granderson, and he pulls a foul.
Dodger relievers are bullpen not by committee, bullpen by the hour.
Seems that way, doesn't it? Dodger bullpen has been a beleaguered core this year, but they had a good night last night. 2 2/3, no runs, 1 hit. Setting the stage for the walk-off home run by Trace Thompson. Granderson hanging in there at 1-2 against Chris Hatcher. And Curtis tries to lay off, but he went around, strike 3, and the inning is over. Hatcher comes into a mess and puts out the fire. Mets unable to add to their lead, leave the bases loaded. It stays 4-2 going to the bottom of the 6th. Are laid back in LA. Look how fast they're moving.
Traffic never moves like that, Gary.
Not in my experience. Adrian Gonzalez leads off the home 6th inning. Check out tonight's starters, brought to you by People's United Bank. Syndergaard, responsible for all 4 runs that Maeda gave up. He's given up 2 home runs in his own right. Gonzalez 1 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, that single through the shift where Cabrera was on the other side of second base. They're now in the more traditional pull shift for the left-hander. It's because no one's on base.
Cabrera standing exactly where Gonzalez got that base hit last time. Syndergaard's been able to keep his pitch count low tonight. He's struck out 5 through the first 5 innings. He's walked 1, given up 2 runs and 5 hits. Spent a long time in the dugout that last half inning. Also had a turn at bat as the Mets left the bases loaded. And tight to Gonzalez, 1-2. Yasmani Grandal, who homered his last time up, is on deck, and then Jock Peterson for LA. The Dodgers started the night with a 1-game lead in the National League West. A game over both the Diamondbacks and the Giants. The Giants won in 13 innings tonight on a bases loaded walk. They beat Toronto. The Diamondbacks lost 8-7 to the Rockies, snapping their 5-game winning streak. It's been an everybody can play kind of division so far in the NL West. 1-2. He misses the changeup. 2-2. And Gonzalez bounces one down to Duda. He'll handle this one himself. That's 4 straight ground ball outs for Syndergaard. 1 out of the 6th.
Well, Gary and Howie are back, and they're looking for new challengers. Think you can beat them at Mets Trivia? Audition for the next Beat the Booth from home. For details on how to online video audition for Beat the Booth, check out SNY.TV today or tomorrow or next day.
Walt Terrell and Noah Syndergaard.
There you go. Very good. This Jeopardy, you rang in too early.
Here's Grandal. He takes the strike. Well, I believe, Terrell and Syndergaard notwithstanding, that you are still the only Met pitcher to homer in back-to-back starts.
Is that true?
I think so.
I thought Terrific did it, and I tied him. But I'm the last person to do it.
Dennis, check it out. Did Tom hit homers in back-to-back starts?
Well, he did everything else, and I'm sure he did.
See, I thought you were the only one.
Maybe. But the last one.
Grandal pulls one down to Duda. So Duda getting a lot of work. That's 5 straight ground ball outs now for Syndergaard. 2 out in the 6th.
And I will be rooting for Noah in his next start. 100%.
I understand. That next start will be against Washington.
And Scherzer, maybe.
I think Tuesday night it could well be. It could be Steven Matz. If Matz is okay, they might push him back to that Tuesday start and go Matz, Syndergaard, Cologne for the series against the Nationals. But it's all going to depend on what transpires with Steven the next few days. If he missed it earlier, he's been scratched from his start Saturday in Colorado. That was a good changeup by Syndergaard. Nothing in one to Peterson.
Terry Collins says elbow stiffness. Steven Matz says forearm stiffness. What in that area?
They're connected.
Yeah, they are.
Peterson thinks about a bunt. Well, there you see the maximum velocity for Syndergaard's various pitchers. A 93-mile-an-hour changeup doesn't really count as a changeup.
And the slider too, but the changeup is it's a changeup off 101. He's going to work on that. He's going to get this fastball to 103. So then he hits a 10-mile-an-hour difference.
Yasiel Puig would be next. Syndergaard has set down 6 in a row since a base hit by Crawford with 2 out in the 4th. 1-2. And the changeup misses. Well, you were correct. Dennis D'Agostino, who knows more about Mets history than anybody, confirms that Tom Seaver did hit home runs in back-to-back starts in 1972. Ron Darling and Tom Seaver.
Oh, see, finally, in the same sentence. And I had to do it hitting, not ever coming close to pitching. The only thing that Tom and I have in common is we both like wine. That's about it.
The problem is, as I'm, learning these facts or confirming them in my head, so are all the potential contestants.
You're right.
2-2 coming. And Peterson takes strike three, called 100 miles an hour on the block. What can you do? 6 strikeouts for Syndergaard. He's through 6 with a 4-2 lead. In the bottom row, Noah Syndergaard, the second Mets pitcher in history to hit 2 home runs in a game. He's also tied a club record with 4 RBIs for a pitcher. And he's got a 4-2 lead as we start the 7th. Follow Mets Baseball live with the MLB.com and Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Adam Liberatore, the left-hander, will come in to pitch the 7th inning.
Well, he came in to get an out in his last appearance, but then gave up a hit to Cabrera, who's facing to lead off here.
Well, it's Dribble 0 for 3 tonight, and he takes a strike on the outside. It'll be Cabrera, Conforto, and Cespedes for the Mets in the 7th. Chris Hatcher did a great job for the Dodgers, came into a 2nd and 3rd nobody out jam in the 6th, and got through it without a run scoring to keep the game at 4-2. Adam Liberatore, depending on where you are right now, is either 28 years old or 29 years old. Here in LA, he's 28, but his birthday is May 12th, and in New York it's already May 12th. So if you're watching the game in New York, happy birthday, Adam Liberatore. It's all a matter of perspective.
Well, my perspective is this Dodger bullpen works so slow, he might get a chance to have his birthday here. '28 sounds so much better than 29. in Major League Baseball terms. You know what I mean? It's 29 is I'm going from contender to pretender at some point, getting closer to that end of the road.
Yeah, it all depends, you know, as Cabrera goes down swinging, because you know in a couple of weeks we'll be putting up 43 candles for Bartolo Colon.
That's right.
And he doesn't look like he's anywhere near the end.
No.
So 29 sounds like a pump. Colon will make the start tomorrow night. Let's see, May 24th, right? So 13 days or 12 if you're in New York, away from Colon's birthday. Conforto got himself a lucky hit last time up. Maybe that'll get him going. A little pop fly that fell behind the bag at third with nobody playing over there. This time they do not have as severe a shift on against Michael with a lefty on the mound. But for Conforto, that was just his 4th hit in his last 36 at bats. Slider in for a strike, 1-1. Well, we've been saying all year that the Mets are a home run or nothing offense, and it's been the case again tonight. It's just been a different home run hitter.
I mean, I know the last number I saw was around 56% of their runs are scored via the home run. That went up, of course, tonight.
Syndergaard pushing that number up single-handedly. And the way this game is going, his pitch count being where it is, he may get another at bat. He's thrown only 77 pitches through 6 innings, so he'll have another inning and perhaps he can get through 8. Which would be a big plus for the Mets bullpen, because Terry Collins is short a couple of arms out there tonight. Conforto takes a fastball for a strike. In all probability, no Antonio Bastardo, who's worked the last 3 days, and probably no Hansel Robles either. The good news is that Jerry's Familia got the night off last night, which means after he worked 3 straight days, he's had a day of rest. Jay going with the parka. It's not that cold.
It's just staying warm, Gary. You know, that's how you get in a little bit of a hitting funk. Right there, Conforto had a 2-1 count in his favor. Fastball right down the middle, and he took it. Just hitters end up being in between, letting it fly or not.
2-2 coming, and he takes a slider off the plate. Three-2 to Conforto, and Michael hits one toward the middle, and that'll go through for a base hit. So after a fortunate hit last time up, a better turn at bat here for Conforto, and he's got hits in back-to-back at bats.
That's how it starts to get you back to where you want to be. Maybe a lucky hit, but now work in the middle of the diamond.
So the Mets have their 7th hit of the night, 1 out and 1 on, and NYN Cespedes coming to the plate. Cespedes 1 for 3 tonight, had a base hit, stole a base, his first of the year back in the 2nd inning. In fact, the Mets have stolen 2 bases tonight. They came into the night with only 8 steals in their first 32 games, but Cespedes stole 1, and so did Campbell, with Kenta Maeda on the mound. Strike to Cespedes. So we know the Atlanta Braves aren't going anywhere this year. So they made a deal today. They traded one of their starting pitchers, Jhoulys Chacín, to the Angels, who are really hamstrung with the injury to Garrett Richards. And they got back a low minor leaguer. So they had to rush Williams Perez back from the minor leagues to pitch tonight against the Phillies. Williams Perez tonight, 8 innings, 2 hits. 5-1 win for the Braves. Only their 2nd home win of the year.
How many times you hear about those minor leaguers that are kind of rushed and they don't really have time to think about their impending start, and they go out there and have a great game?
Well, it was Yogi Berra who said you can't think and hit at the same time. Maybe you can't think and pitch at the same time either. If you don't have time to think about it, you can't get nervous. Lucas Duda waiting on deck. Rondell setting up outside. And Cespedes finds the gap in left center field. That'll go back to the wall. Conforto races to third. He'll be stopped there by Tim Tuffle. A ringing double for Cespedes on an 0-2 pitch. And the Mets have second and third and one out.
First baseman number 21, Lucas Duda.
Well, they continue to throw him change-ups and breaking balls, and he just does not miss them. This one was a bullet.
It was supposed to be off the plate, and it was anything but. Well, the Mets had second and third and nobody out in the sixth inning and couldn't score. Now they have second and third and one out. Lewis Coleman is up in the Dodger bullpen. Dodgers will bring the infield in with Duda at the plate rather than walking him to fill the bases.
Lucas can try just something different against these left-handers. They're pitching him away. Try to work up the middle the other way.
It's been a rough go for Duda against the lefties this year after he hit them very well last year. In fact, I think I read today, I have to go back and check this, that Lucas had a higher OPS against lefties last year than he did against righties, which is pretty stunning when you consider 2 years ago he couldn't get out of his own way against the lefties. Conforto at third, Cespedes at second with one out. Everybody in, three infielders on the right side against Duda. You got Kendrick staying home on the left side. Seager, the shortstop, Utley and Gonzalez on the right. And Lucas takes a fastball low and in, 2-0. One of the few Mets who is from Southern California. We figured out among the active roster just he and Addison Reed.
I think Lucas pitched a game as a high schooler here at Dodger Stadium.
He would have been scary to face. And Lucas flies one to shallow left. Conforto tagging. Crawford doesn't have a very good arm, but that's too shallow to try it. And Conforto will stay put. 2 out. So the Mets with a golden scoring opportunity for the second straight inning and might let it go by.
These are the kind of add-on runs that you need that will lead to victory. If you don't get them, you just leave the other team a bloop and a blast away from getting back into the game.
Duda had been 4 for 4 this year, getting a runner in from third with less than 2 out. First time he's failed to do it. Now they're going to walk Walker intentionally and bring Eric Campbell to the plate. So Walker, who snapped an 0 for 22 stretch with a double his last time up, gets the intentional pass. They've got the side-arming righty Lewis Coleman up in the bullpen with Campbell on deck. The Mets do have Alejandro De Aza on the bench as a left-handed pinch hitter, but Terry's a little short-handed tonight on the infield. David Wright getting the night off. You're not going to use him. And Wilmer Flores is a little banged up, and I think Terry would only use him if he absolutely had to.
The only problem is in this series, we've seen what Coleman can do to right-handed hitters.
Well, Dave Roberts is coming out. He's made the sign of the bullpen. He's going to bring the side-arming right-hander in, and we'll see whether Terry has the wherewithal to send up De Aza or if he'll stick with Campbell. 4-2 Mets in the 7th. We'll be right back. tomorrow, but he does have to face the bat of Bartolo Colon. Final game of the series tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. The coverage here on SNY. Well, Lewis Coleman has been perfect in this series so far.
Yeah, he's faced 4 right-handed hitters, struck out all 4, including Campbell once in this series.
And with, again, Terry a little shorthanded with infielders, he has to leave Campbell in to bat for himself with the bases loaded and 2 out. And he takes a slider off the plate for ball 1. That right-hand hitters have been offering at that slider off the plate, and maybe the experience of watching his mates will help Campbell.
In an RBI situation, everything's going to be away from Coleman. Just concentrate on trying to go the other way.
Conforto, Cespedes, and Walker aboard with 2 out. And now Coleman behind on Campbell, 2-0. Well, the Mets have not done well with runners in scoring position, but coming into the night, they've done very well with the bases loaded. They were 8 for 18 with 2 grand slams. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, their strength is they've been in scoring position when they're at the plate.
2-0. And Campbell gets under one and pops it foul. That'll make it to the seats and out of play. So figuring he was going to get a fastball on 2-0. Campbell dialed it up, but fouled it off. That's left the bases loaded in the 6th inning and trying to avoid doing the same in the 7th, with the lead still tenuous at 4-2. Two-1 to Campbell, and it's inside, ball 3.
How did that not hit him?
Stuck his leg out into it. Campbell's already been hit by a pitch once tonight, so he's got everything in his favor here with a 3-1 count and the bases full. Three-1 to Campbell, and a slider in for a strike. Full count.
Boy, that's a good pitch. 3-1 from Coleman. They have the guts to throw that slider 3-1 for a strike.
Like a frisbee. So now the merry-go-round will be in motion. Conforto at third, Cespedes at second, Walker at first. Will all be running. And Campbell takes the slider for strike 3 call. That is quite a job by Lewis Coleman. Behind 3-1, throws sliders for strikes on 3-1 and on 3-2. He's now faced 5 batters in the series and struck them all out. Mets leave the bases loaded for the 2nd straight inning.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He's off, but he's never far from our hearts. Still chronicling his couple of weeks off. Lunch at the American Hotel. Jeff and Mala. Hi, Jeff and Mala.
A beautiful veranda at the American Hotel and having dinner with heads of state.
Yasiel Puig hits one in the air, deep left. Conforto back on the warning track. Has room to make the catch. Not the first time in this series that Puig has gotten one up in the air that has died in the Dodger Stadium night air. One long out to start the home seventh.
I think it was supposed to be a slider that just stayed in the middle of the plate.
Here's Crawford. He takes a fastball off the plate.
It's hard to judge there whether he thought he got it or he put his head down because he didn't get enough of it.
2-0 to Crawford. Justin Turner's come out on deck to be a pinch hitter. We have the pitcher spot due up next. Syndergaard has retired 8 in a row since a base hit by Crawford in the fourth. And Crawford hits one out to left, easy for Conforto. 2 fly ball outs to start the home seventh. And now Turner's going back to the dugout. And we'll get Trace Thompson instead, more of a home run bat with 2 out and nobody on. It was Thompson who ended the game last night with a home run against Hansel Robles after a little pitcher-catcher indecision.
Well, Robles shook off Plawecki, went back with the fastball, and Thompson centered it.
The Elias Sports Bureau, which does brilliant work for us, did a little research on game-ending plays. Trace Thompson hit his first walk-off home run last night. His brother Clay with the Golden State Warriors has never made a game-winning buzzer beater in the NBA. 386 regular season and 49 playoff games.
That's because you can't get the ball from Curry late in the game.
They don't take turns in basketball the same way they do in baseball. Syndergaard's retired 9 straight, and Thompson takes a fastball that misses at 99 miles an hour. So heat still being generated by Syndergaard with 2 out in the seventh.
2-seamer too.
And slider off the plate. 2-0. Hasn't been a huge strikeout night for Noah. He's fanned 6. He's walked 1, given up 2 runs and 5 hits. Both the runs coming on solo homers by Seager and Grandal. Thompson flies one to shallow right. Coming on is Granderson. And he gets there. Side retired. 3 fly ball outs. Syndergaard's retired 10 in a row, and he's still got more in the tank. 4-2 after 7. By Cadillac. Visit TriStateCadillac.com for exceptional offers. And by State Farm. Today's State Farm agent of the game is Pat Cauley of Glendale. Contact Pat at patcauley.org. Love that shot of the LA Coliseum. It's where the Dodgers played from 1958 through 1961. A football stadium. They had the very short left field and the very deep right field.
Yeah, just southwest of here. Not far at all.
They put up a screen in front of the stands and left. You had to hit it over the screen to hit a home run. And Wally Moon became the expert at dunking them over the screen. They call them moonshots.
He was a left-handed hitter and just like flare him out there.
Well, Noah Syndergaard is due to bat second in the inning, and he'll face Joe Blanton, who will pitch for the second time in this series.
Well, the one thing you do see when you play a team 4 times is you see everyone in the bullpen at some point. Blanton looked sharp the other night.
Rene Rivera leads off the 8th. Rivera's been on base twice via the walk. He scored a run tonight. But Syndergaard has been the offensive story and the pitching story. 2 home runs tonight for Syndergaard. He's driven in all 4 runs. Both those numbers tie Mets club records for a pitcher. Blanton worked on Monday night, worked a scoreless inning.
Blanton, when he was a starting pitcher, he was more of a fastball curveball pitcher. He's developed that slider out of the pen. It's very effective.
Joe now 35 years old. Popped up. Gonzalez retreating. Called off by Utley. 1 away. And now Syndergaard. And what a night it has been for Noah. Home run to give the Mets the lead in the 3rd, and then after he gave up a couple of solo home runs and failed to get down a bunt on a 1-2 pitch, he hit one out of the ballpark, a 3-run shot, to become only the 2nd Met pitcher ever to hit 2 home runs in a game and the 1st pitcher anywhere in 9 years.
Might be the only opposing pitcher ever to be booed here at Dodger Stadium.
Slider to start him off, and why not? He's gotten some great cuts tonight, even when he struck out with the bases loaded in the 6th. He hit 2 loud foul balls and then struck out on the high fastball. You get the feeling no one knows exactly what the history is.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have those magical games where you feel not only great on the mound but also at the plate.
Sliders from Blanton. Treating him like a hitter now. One-two coming. Bounce that one. Noah's now hit 3 home runs in his career, and they've all been 400 feet or better. I mean, normally when pitchers hit home runs, they hit them down the line, 340, 350 feet.
Like Bartolo's home run.
Right. But no, all of Syndergaard's have gone to center or deep in the gaps. 2-2 from Blanton, and Syndergaard just got a piece.
Did you notice that Grandal caught that ball in like against his elbow, against his chest? That can be an out. Ball never touched the ground.
You're not allowed to use your equipment to catch a foul tip.
I thought he trapped it with his elbow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe it goes in his equipment.
Yeah. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, because it hit his body and then.
Dave Roberts just came out for an explanation and got one from the home plate umpire Mark Ripperger.
Unusual play, though.
Meanwhile, Grandal has to shake it off because that must have stung. 2-2. Struck him out with a slider. So Blanton had his game plan against the home run hitter. He was not going to throw him a fastball. And Syndergaard strikes out for the second time. Just typical slugger. All or nothing.
Jim Tobin stays in the record books.
So 2 out and nobody on. Just have to settle for 2 home runs tonight. Here's Granderson, who's gone 0 for 4. It's been hard for Curtis to get much momentum going this year. Every time it looks like he's starting a hot streak, he has a couple of nights like this. Last 11 games now, 5 hits and 39 at bats. And he chases a changeup from Blanton. That's 0-2.
To me, that's the difference from last year, is that he wasn't chasing pitches. He was walking a lot. This year, it seems like he's trying to force the issue a little.
And Blanton takes care of him on 3 pitches. 1-2-3 inning for Blanton in the top of the 8th. Syndergaard back to the mound when we come back. Chase Utley leads off in the home 8th inning and takes a strike from Noah Syndergaard. Utley 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 9 in this series.
Back to the pitching version of Noah Syndergaard.
Only 87 pitches. He's retired the last 10 Dodgers. 0-2 to Utley. Addison Reed is throwing in the Mets bullpen, but the plan here certainly is to get Syndergaard through 8 and get directly to Jerry's Familia as he starts his 4th time through the Dodger order.
Only one Mets pitcher has gone 8 innings so far.
And that was Cologne. Corey Seager on deck, then Howie Kendrick for the Dodgers in the 8th. Syndergaard has walked 1, struck out 6, allowed 2 solo home runs to account for the only 2 Dodger runs. And Utley grounds one to short. Running around it is Cabrera. The off-balance throw and a hop. He got him. As Dribble Cabrera shaded up the middle, had a long way to go to get that ball, but he throws out Utley for the first out. And we'll see if the Dodgers want to challenge.
Well, let's look at the beautiful play before the chance of challenging.
He's out.
Not even close. But you just love the athleticism and the ability to put enough on the throw. And we don't even talk about the digging it out of the dirt by Duda, which was a nice play also.
Not even close. That's 11 in a row set down by Syndergaard. Here's Corey Seager, who homered back in the 3rd inning. And the curveball to start him off. We haven't seen a lot of curveballs from Syndergaard tonight, but certainly had Seager fishing.
He threw a couple early that were hit, and they got him off it. See the pitches by inning, outstanding.
Seager's home run was his 3rd of the year. He tries to bust him inside at 100 miles an hour in the 8th inning. I mean, the ability to maintain that velocity all night long is amazing.
Listen, the other team is watching that too and shaking their heads.
There's a nasty changeup, and it's 1-2.
So 100 under your armpits, and then 91-mile-an-hour changeup running away. They're like, Bob Guerin, you said he was good. You didn't say he was this good.
A lot of head shaking going on. 1-2 coming. Blooped, shallow center. Cabrera out, it'll land. A base hit for Seager. Just a little parachute, and that'll get Kendrick to the plate as the tying run. First base runner since the 4th inning for the Dodgers.
Well, this is all it takes. Blooping it in there, and this is where all the missed chances by the Mets becomes an irritation.
That's left the bases loaded in both the 6th and 7th innings. Now Kendrick to the plate as the tying run. Syndergaard had retired 11 in a row before that bloop hit by Seager. Kendrick's 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 8 in the series. And that's below the knees, ball 1. Now, if you're Syndergaard here, you got Seager at first. Do you even think about the base runner with a 2-run lead?
You don't worry about him. If you want to throw over a courtesy throw, that's fine. But really, what you want is you want to get a ground ball from Kendrick here in turn 2.
And there's the grounder right at Cabrera. Walker with the turn, double play, side retired. On cue. 6-4-3. Syndergaard gets through 8. It's been all Noah tonight. Got the double play ball he needed. Syndergaard at the plate, Syndergaard on the mound. 4-2 Mets go on to the ninth. There's no particular reason we have to hear them. Okay. Ninth inning as Dribble Cabrera leads off against Joe Blanton, with the Mets looking for some insurance, leading 4-2. Well, it looks like Syndergaard is done for the night.
Well, I was saying Rene Rivera looks like he's going to get himself a start at least once every 5th day with Noah.
Well, that combination has certainly worked. 95 pitches for Syndergaard tonight. 2 runs allowed, 2 home runs, and 4 runs driven in. That's a full night's work. Didn't need anybody else on the field with him. Well, not much. Kind of like the king in his court.
That's right.
He needed a couple of fielders.
He was Eddie Feigner tonight.
Well, he just keeps on adding to his exploits, throwing lightning and hitting with thunder. Cabrera loops one down the line, headed toward the pole, hooking, foul ball. Cabrera never left home plate. Ball didn't miss by much of landing in fair territory, but it went foul just outside the pole, and it's 1-2.
$10 foul, I guess.
If that.
Yeah.
330 down the line with that short fence. 1-2 coming. That's hooked down the line, and that'll go foul. This time he ran.
Broke his bat too. I just think, you know, when you look at this game tomorrow, if the Mets can hold on, you're going to be looking at a young man who can throw 100 miles an hour in the 8th inning. That to me is more impressive than Chapman coming in for an inning and throwing what he does. Now he's impressive, throwing 103, 104, but be able to do it in the 8th inning.
And I've never seen Chapman hit a couple of 400-foot home runs either. I mean, what Syndergaard is accomplishing both on the radar gun and with his performance both on the mound and at the plate is building up quite the legend early this season. 1-2 to Cabrera, and he strikes him out with a changeup. So Blanton has his 3rd strikeout. We check in to see what's coming up on WB Mason post game live. Gary Apple, Nelson Figueroa, guys. All right, guys, late night edition of WB Mason post game live. It's only 1. Plenty of time. Here's Michael Conforto. Base hits his last 2 times up, a bloop and a single up the middle, and he takes a curveball up and away from Joe Blanton. So Conforto, who had been 3 for 35 after flying out in the 3rd, has a 2 for 4 night.
Probably doesn't get to play tomorrow against Kershaw. What do you think?
I would say no.
Yeah.
Two 2-0 to Michael. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Adrian Gonzalez, Yasmani Grandal, Jock Peterson against Jeurys Familia, who had a day off yesterday and will be bidding for his 12th save of the year.
What if Conforto hits a bullet here? Does it change your mind as a manager about tomorrow?
Maybe.
Right.
Well, the question is, if he does play, who do you sit? Do you sit Granderson or do you sit Lagares against the lefty? I mean, you have to love the way Lagares has been swinging the bat against left-handers. But, you know, with Kershaw, it's kind of all bets are off. It's more a matter of what Colon can do.
Well, there have been some left-handers that you like to alternate some righties and lefties so you don't get them locked in on one corner. Tom Glavine was one of those guys, but Kershaw is not that pitcher. He abuses lefties and righties.
Well, the Mets have had plenty of chances to extend their lead in this game, but Syndergaard's the only guy who's been able to counter. Grounded down to first. Gonzalez says, I'll take it. 2 out. 5 up and 5 down for Joe Blanton here in his relief outing.
The relievers have been unbelievable for the Dodgers tonight. Did a great job that Hatcher did when Maeda left the 2 on and no outs.
Liberatore gave up a couple of hard hits, but then he got the huge out, getting Duda on the short fly ball before he left for Coleman, who got the third out of that inning.
Coleman's been all world this series.
Coming up tonight, Geico Sports Night after the post game. 20 strikeouts for Max Scherzer and all the baseball, along with the basketball and hockey playoffs. Geico Sports Night tonight, early this morning, however you wish to phrase it, after the post game. Cespedes a single and a double tonight. He's 2 for 4. And backs away from the slider, 0-1. Kenta Maeda, the Dodgers starter, went 5 innings plus. First time in the big leagues he hasn't gone 6. Gave up all 4 runs and 6 hits. There's Familia getting ready. Familia has really settled into a groove. He was having some shaky saves early in the season. On this road trip, he's been perfect.
Yeah, the perfect save, right? 3 up, 3 down.
And the Mets hope they can get more of that out of Familia tonight after a day off last night. Blanton trying to complete a second perfect inning. Now the 0-2. And he chases the slider, strike 3. That's quite an outing for Joe Blanton. 6 up, 6 down, the 4 strikeouts. Now it's up to Jerry's Familia to try and save it for New York. 4-2 going to the bottom of the ninth. This is a reason to smile. And then there's another reason to smile.
Well, not if you're Kenta Maeda, but yes, Mets fans and Noah. Look at that extension through the ball. Like I said, if you didn't know he was a pitcher, wouldn't you think he's a big hitting first baseman?
Cespedes moves to left. Juan Lagares comes into play center. And with Syndergaard having done everything tonight, driven in all 4 runs, pitched 8 great innings, now somebody else gets to do something.
Familia had the night off last night, so back at it today with a short bullpen. Syndergaard goes 8. Did a great job.
Adrian Gonzalez 1 for 3 tonight, leads off for the Dodgers in the last of the ninth. The Dodgers won last night 3-2. Their 11th straight home game where they've scored 3 or fewer. It would be 12 if they can't overcome this deficit tonight. That's laced into left center, a base hit for Gonzalez. It'll go back to the wall, and Gonzalez has himself a leadoff double, and just like that, the Dodgers get the tying run to bat in the ninth. Well, whatever struggles Adrian Gonzalez was having coming into the series, he seems to have solved them.
Well, he always hits Smith pitching well, and a lot of his hits are the opposite way. Very intelligent hitter, knows that he's going to get a pitch running away, either a split finger or fastball from Familia, and goes that way.
So after 3 perfect outings in a row, Familia gives up a leadoff double tonight. And now he'll face Yasmani Grandal, tying run at the plate. Grandal homered off Syndergaard back in the 4th. Grandal 1 for 4 in his career against Familia. And he takes the slider down for ball 1. Syndergaard went 8, allowed 2 runs, 6 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs, 95 pitches. Two and 0. Josh Peterson waiting on deck. So it's not coming easily for Familia tonight. To Grandal, and he taps one slowly. Walker was playing very deep. He hustles in and gets the out. Walker from a good 15 feet onto the outfield grass, hustling in to make the play on Grandal for the first out in the last of the ninth.
Really, that's the most difficult play when the shift is on, is that topped, slowly hit ground ball. But Walker charged it, and on the run makes the play. As soon as you recognize that as second baseman, you're like, uh-oh, got to get in there and make it quick. Luckily, Grandal does not run that well.
Gonzalez went to third, his run of no consequence right now. And now Jock Peterson, who has struck out twice and drawn a walk. Infield back and pulled around to the right. The only man that matters is the man at the plate. And a slider for ball 1, second straight batter. That Familia's throwing a first pitch slider.
Interesting matchup here. Peterson likes the ball down. Familia, a guy who likes to pitch down.
Yasiel Puig on deck. And Peterson takes another pitch low and in. So for the second straight batter, Familia falls behind 2-0. And Rivera's going to run the ball back out to the mound. Noah Syndergaard hit the streets of New York City dressed as Thor on an all-new episode of the SNY.TV digital series, The Amazing Life, presented by Coca-Cola. Check out the full episode and more at SNY.TV/Coca-Cola. And he played like a superhero tonight. Had that hammer working. This is the last game going in the majors tonight. The Cardinals won again in Anaheim tonight, 5-2. Another strong outing for Jaime Garcia. So now Familia facing the home run bat of Jock Peterson, behind in the count 2-0, tying run at the plate. And now 3-0. Puig next.
Looking at third base coach Chris Woodward, he looked the other way. Occasionally, third base coach put on a take.
Well, with Peterson's power, I think you have to let him swing. Yep. Peterson, 26 home runs as a rookie last year, 6 already this year. He swings and drills one toward the middle. Cabrera is there to grab it, and he throws him out. Gonzalez comes in to score, but Cabrera with another tremendous play on a seed hit by Peterson. It's now a 4-3 game, but the Dodgers are down to their final out.
I mean, pure wizardry to be able to make that play. That ball hit right on the nose, smoke to his backhand. He cradles it, spins around, and makes the most difficult play look so easy.
Two fine plays by those Met middle infielders who have done such a great job solidifying the Mets defense. Walker and then Cabrera. And so now 2 out and nobody on, a 1-run Met lead, and Puig comes to the plate. Puig hit one to the warning track in left field his last time up. He's 1 for 3 on the night. And Puig goes after the first pitch slider, so Familia staying with that game plan.
Right now, though, if you think about his slider, you'd have to say it's his 3rd best pitch after his sinker and his split finger.
Quick pitch, and he gets ahead on Puig, 0-2. That's the most dialed-in fastball he's thrown. And now the Dodgers are down to their final strike. 0-2 to Yasiel Puig. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Jerry's Familia bends but does not break. Gets great help from his defense on a night that was owned by Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard with 8 tremendous innings ties a Met club record by hitting 2 home runs and driving in 4. And the Mets have taken 2 of 3 in this series from the Dodgers, winning tonight 4-3.
Well, in a town that loves a star power, the biggest star was Syndergaard tonight. Don't overlook great defense in the infield by the Mets tonight, and Syndergaard going 8 innings with a short bullpen to get the ball to Familia, who gets his 12th save.
Mets are now 4-3 on the road trip. Familia, who looked a little shaky up until that point, made quick work of Yasiel Puig, a slider and a couple of sinkers. And he takes care of Puig on 3 pitches to end the night and earn his 12th save without a single one blown.
Wishing you a good night, everybody.
Game summary presented by JetBlue. Mets back to 9 games over 500. Syndergaard with a scintillating performance on the mound and at the plate. He drove